Garten of Banban represents everything that's currently wrong with the mascot horror market. People used to count on the games that weren't even functional, but it's gotten to the point where they are functional now. They just have no spirit going on. It feels like a cheap grab for attention and money.
Sup everyone! It's been a while, hasn't it? Some time since I last posted too. Anyways, as most of you probably already know, Garten of Banban is undeniably one of the largest mascot horror games out there on the internet, with many already aware of its existence either due to its unique nature or large internet celebrities either reviewing or playing the games or just doing both. Now, although Garten of Banban has received a lot of praise and criticism from the internet regarding its gameplay, there is a more unknown and obscure area of criticism that is often ignored. This area is of course the 3D models the game franchise deploys throughout its installments, with simple mundane models such as Banban having more polygons than, for example, a detailed and professionally made game model such as the Doomguy Eternal model. Now, I know I already showed you guys this in the last video, so in order to freshen this, this video up and tilt the scales, I've compared the Banban model with the Arkham Knight model from the game Batman Arkham Knight, and as you can see, it is so much larger than the beautiful and magnificent Arkham Knight, as you can see in these cutscenes I ripped off of some channel on YouTube. So, you can do the math if you want to see just how much bigger Banban is than the Arkham Knight model, but just looking at the numbers should be enough, so, let's just move on. So, in a weird and somewhat funny way, the lack of game optimization in Garten of Banban has, again, in a way become its own unique subculture within the fanbase and amongst critics. People will often create models with a similar simplicity to the ones made by the devs of the games, or just make their own models that align with their art style, but with the catch being that the models are way too heavy for any sane developer to use in any game. Due to this, the Euphoric brothers are not only notorious on the internet for creating the Garten of Banban game franchise, but also for their wildly unoptimized game models. But it may have all come to a stop on the 24th of February 2026.
What about now? It's time to rock with the biggity buck Bumble. What about now? It's time to rock with the biggity buck Bumble.
But Garten of Banban is more than a horror game. It's also the most innovative game on our entire planet, as it has the most vile game optimization on Earth that most gaming PCs can barely play the games at a smooth 60 FPS. And it doesn't help either with the whole goddamn AI data centers and blah 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 whatever. But another thing is that the game franchise is run on the Unreal Engine, which combined with all of its optimization faults makes the franchise win Olympic gold in the most unoptimized game franchise to ever exist. Now, it is one hell of a competition to be in, especially when the developers are about to drop the 9th installment of Garten of Banban. Besides that tasteful criticism, the only reason as to how I was made aware of this announcement is due to a couple of comments from a video about the topology of the models in Garten of Banban. If the commenters from my previous videos are indeed telling the truth and haven't been misinformed, then the creators of Garten of Banban have previously attempted to optimize the game models, and all of the publicly available models are from before that optimization speedrun. But now they're calling for the help of more experienced and professional 3D modelers, animators, and whatever. I don't know why. They could have just continued doing it and continued generating me more content, but it's whatever. Now, the reason as to why this is a big deal regarding the franchise is that the creators have previously created all of the models for the games by themselves, and As you already know. It's hard, it's hard to mess up that bad. And you, the viewer, may not be able to fully grasp it either because maybe you just don't know how much it matters, or you just don't give a damn. Therefore, I'll try my best to explain why it matters using a different model as a reference that's also a lot more smaller than the Banban model. This model that I'm referring to is, of course, the infamous drone remote, which is extensively used throughout the game series and has appeared in all of the installments and is also almost always rendered in-game. The reason as to why I'm bringing this up is that the remote model for some reason has a little more than 184,000 triangles, which, if Twitter is not lying to me, is 6 times larger than the entirety of Super Mario 64. But again, if that is not true, the remote is still way too heavy, as you can achieve the same result with only 164 triangles, which is a reduction of around 99.91%. Besides that, I will not only retopologize these two other models up on screen, but also try my best to add more details to the models while still following the general art style of the franchise, which is a step up from my previous video where I just simply retopologized the models and nothing else and just called it a day. Alright, so yeah, sorry for the little jump cut over there. I just, looked around it to, yes. So we have a drone here. Beautiful drone here for you, and just look at it. I just want to show you it is quite the beauty if you just look at it. The thing here is that it absolutely does not need to be this large, alright? It does not, and I'm gonna show you soon, but first I just want to show you. So we have 23,000, okay? I want you to remember this number, 23,000, because I remade this off camera. Okay, a couple days ago actually, I don't really remember when. So yeah, 23,000 for just one single sphere. And if we go into mine, I just wanted to tell you, if we go into my little thing here that I made off camera, okay, 23,000. Remember again, 23,000, let's just write it down. That's how many faces it has, okay, and we're counting faces, we're not going triangles because otherwise I'm gonna have to separate it, and I don't really want to separate it, okay? So 23,000, there we have it, and then let's look at mine. There. 10,000. Okay? So, 23,000, and this entire thing here that I made, which looks exactly like this one, except it has a little bit more details which added up. More polygons, fucking whatever. And that is so fucking crazy. Because, if you look at the sphere, it's not even that, okay? There's more to it. Okay, because if I go into X-ray, it has a little fetus inside. You see that? There's a little fetus inside. I pulled it down, so that's the fetus from before. So we're gonna remake this. I'm gonna remake my remake. That is a remake of this drone. And my remake might look like this remake. Alright? It might. And I'm just gonna use this as like a reference so I can like see. Now then, let's start this. Okay.
Different story. excitingly different story. The story is true.
Oh my god, it's done. It's done. Oh my god, I hate this. Okay, so we have 263 0.049. So yeah, this one right here, 99.951% smaller.
Here's to the ones that we got. Cheers to the wish you were here.
Jumbo Josh. Who doesn't love him? Our favorite mutant gorilla. According to DeviantArt and a lot of other pictures I found on Google, a lot. Some may love him a bit too much, and those people would probably be delighted to find out that the official Jumbo Josh model does indeed have an ass and crack as shown here. It's very faint, just like how his teeth are connected. But in retrospect, it's most likely due to a sculpting error, but still very clear to see in viewport shading.
Now I understand your need. Now I understand what.
There's Jumbo Jaws. The one on the right, that's... Oh. Okay, so this one I made, it is at around 9,000 polygons, but it could be a lot better because of the teeth. So let's compare this, the one I've already made. Let's just... No, the math is up. The math is gonna be shown on screen. Yeah, that's the reduction right there that I made off screen. But still, that's besides the point. Now, last time when I made a character, I did this box modeling technique, and basically what it is I just take a cube, then I just I just play around with it. I just try to make it fit it. Yeah, so that's the torso, and then with some more work I can do the legs and then the arms, and yeah. But that's basically what I did. And another thing I noticed on this model is that the teeth are part of the body, and that's not good. That's not good, because here, if you don't believe me, here, you see that? It's part of the body, and the reason why it's not that good is because it creates more faces, it creates more unnecessary geometry, because if you look around here, you can see, oops, if we take this area, for example, you can see that there's like, so here, 1 triangle, 2 triangle, 4 triangles. So we have 4 triangles in this one specific spot, whilst on the other one we just have 2 triangles right there, there, there. So we have 2 triangles there, 2, and then over here we have 4, and that's obviously, that's not good. You might be asking, how do you fix this? Well, the easiest answer is to just, you know, model them separately. These are their own models. I can not collect them, I can click on them, and yeah, you can see that they're all the same, you know? Back to what I was talking about how you're not gonna see the texture, or, you know, these things here, is because when you paint it, you can paint it so that, like, you can't really see it, because right here, you wouldn't really know, would you? Like, you wouldn't know that they're fused, but they are. I will say this, okay? The Euphoric brothers suck at 3D modeling, but I will admit that they are pretty good at the textures, because right here, you can see it's sort of like or one of those gym mattresses you see in P. I don't know what they're called. Editor, put it up here on screen. I painted this on, not modeled, painted, but I painted that on, that, and it's like stitches, and it's really well made. I have to say that the Euphoric brothers, they know how to draw, they know how to texture, but they don't know how to 3D model, because again, look at the thing. And that's pretty funny, because if you look at mine, yeah, like I said, I'm not that good at texturing. I focus more on like a realistic shit, which is why the blood splatter right there looks more real, but on the Jogeir it looks more like tomato juice. Maybe there's a reason for that, I don't know. But right now I just want to show you guys how you can texture them. Well, texturing trick. So if we go into shading, like when you sculpt detail on, it like peeks out. You know, you get stuff that like sticks out like this, bam, and then you can add in more details and stuff. Like you can see here, there's a lot of details and stuff. But it takes up a lot of space, you know, and I'm telling you, it takes up a shit ton of space, and you don't want that. Obviously, you're not gonna want that. You want it to be smaller. You want it to be, you know, more optimized. And although this isn't that good, it's remarkably smaller than the Banban model, which is impressive, I will say. Do you see how it like sort of looks like it's like sinking in, like it has stuff, but in reality it doesn't. It's completely smooth. It's just painted on, and it's not because they played around with shadows, no, nothing like that. It's more so that they used normal maps, and you can use them too. But what I usually use, or it's like, I wouldn't call them normal maps. I call them more like I'd say like bump maps. I'd say, yeah, you know, I call them bump maps. So, well, if I go into texture paint, so now that it's on, basically right now you can see here on the set. Let's draw my name on it. And it's gonna look like it has stuff, but in reality it doesn't. There. Wait, I misspelled it. There we go. There it is. Warruz on YouTube. That little play button. There. So there it is. That's Warruz on YouTube. Yeah, like I'm maybe like sculpted it or added more detail and like more polygons to it, but really nothing changed. It's still the same from before. It's still at like 9,000. Select everything, you can see it's still the same, but it looks like it has more depth, and that's what they used here with their normal maps. That's basically what they did. So I'm gonna try to do actual retopology this time, and the thing here is that I suck at it. Okay, I absolutely suck at it, and I never want to do it. there we go. But there it is. And that's basically the Banban head, but I have no idea how much it weighs. So let's just look at the statistics. I don't know why it was turned off. So 1000. Yeah, that's a lot. So if I were to hide it, and his eyes, that's basically his head right there. So that's how you can do Jumbo Jaws and his entire body. Like I said, I won't be doing it, okay? You know what? Yeah, fuck it. I've decided I'm not doing this entire thing. No!